Who was Anne Frank? Oh no, we're going to learn. Chapter 2, we know she's a little girl from Germany, right? And then they left Germany and they made jam, pectin for jam. Chapter 2, a new home. Here we go. Amsterdam is a pretty city. It is crisscrossed with canals. Boats go up and down the canals all hours of the day. Anne was only 4 years old. Here she is. She looks cuter in this picture. In 1934, when she moved there, Amsterdam quickly became her home. 1934, Anne Frank's house in where? Amsterdam. Good job. The Franks' new apartment was not as large as the one in Frankfurt, but it had a room for guests. Otto and Edith missed their old friends and family, so they were very happy when Oma came to live with them. They hoped other relatives would visit too. Many other Jewish families moved away from Germany to Amsterdam. The Franks soon had a circle of German Jewish friends. At school, half of the children were Jewish friends. Some had even come from Frankfurt like her. Anne was a good student, although she hated math. Look, here she is. She didn't like math. She didn't like math.
But did she know math?
She knew how to do math. She didn't like it. She was a chatterbox. She talked a lot. And often, just like Dax, right? And often teachers had to scold her to be quiet. In her free time, she liked playing ping pong. There it is. Boop, boop, boop. Ping pong. She started a ping pong club called Little Bear -2 Club. There were 5 members. 5 members. The name of the club came from the number of stars in the Little Bear constellation. So the stars in the sky, the Little Bear constellation. Anne had thought there were 5 stars, but really there were 7. Not 5, there were 7. Mm-hmm. That explains the -2 in the club's name. Anne liked to read history books. Here's a history book. She loved it. And Greek myths and a popular series of books about a girl named Jupe, who was adventurous and lively like Anne. Anne liked ice skating and riding her bike with her friend Han. Han went along with all of Anne's pranks. Oh, no. Sometimes Anne and Han stood on the balcony of Frank's apartment and poured water on the people in the street below. Is that good or bad? Bad. Anne was a good swimmer. Amsterdam was not far from the seashore. Many photos show Anne and Margot at the beach in their swimsuits. In one photo, skinny little Anne was wrapped in the blanket wrapped around her. She later wore that as she had been freezing when the picture was taken. Her mother often worried that Anne would catch a cold because she was sick a lot. She missed many days of school because of coughs and the flu. She loved going to the movies. Anne cut out pictures of movie stars from magazines. She even had daydreams about being a movie star herself one day, but she wasn't sure she'd be pretty enough. She thought she was an ugly duckling. In many ways, Anne's childhood was very much like most kids, except every once in a while something scary would happen. In 1938, her Uncle Walter was arrested in Germany because he was Jewish. The police took him because he's Jewish. He was sent to what is this? Nope, this right here. Do you remember? He was sent to a labor camp. It was like a prison. Eventually, Uncle Walter was lucky enough to win his freedom by agreeing to leave Germany forever. He ended up moving to the Kids. Mm-hmm. The white rose. Here you go. Okay, well listen, we'll find out why you see a swastika and a gun. The white rose. Not all Germans believed in Adolf Hitler or his hateful ideas. Some risked their lives to stand up to the Nazis. In the city of Munich, a group of students wrote pamphlets against the Nazis that were given out all over Germany. The pamphlets warned that Hitler was destroying the freedom of German people. It was time to stand up for justice and tolerance. The students were led by brother and sister named Hans and Sophie Scholl. They called their group the White Rose. The Nazis soon put an end to the White Rose and killed its leaders. Today, many German schools, streets, and landmarks are named in honor of the brave young people who were not afraid to speak out. So we learned a word. What would that be? An activist. Good job. So this is it. This is why you see the swastika with guns. Because this is Munich University, the White Rose pamphlets, and this is Hans and Sophie. They were saying that Nazis are bad, Hitler was bad. And what happened? The Nazis shot them. But how safe was the Netherlands? In 1938, Hitler reunited with Austria and Germany. Austria was on the southern border of Germany. The people there spoke German, and most were happy to be part of this powerful empire. They cheered Hitler's soldiers when they marched into the city of Vienna. The Dutch, however, hated Hitler. Most people couldn't stand the idea of being under his control. But did it matter what they thought? In March of 1939, Germany invaded Czechoslovakia. What if Hitler decided to make the Netherlands part of his empire too? Otto and Edith Frank had to make a hard decision. Should the family stay in Amsterdam or move again? And if they moved, where would they go? To England, to the United States, to a country in South America? It was very hard to get permits into other countries. Besides, Anne and her sister were happy in Amsterdam. And even though Edith was not happy, she liked knowing that her relatives in Germany were nearby. In 1939, Otto Frank was 50 years old. He felt like he was too old to start his life over again. In the end, the Franks decided not to uproot the family for a second time. They would stay in Amsterdam. So they moved to Amsterdam, right? And Anne, did she like math? No, but she loved books. And she started a ping club that was Little Bear -2. The Dutch like or hate the Nazis? Hate the Nazis. And did they leave Amsterdam or did they stay? They stayed. They thought about leaving. Oh, look, did she like to swim? Yeah. And in 1938, who was arrested? Uncle Walter. Yeah. And because he was Jewish, and he went to and he got to leave because he agreed to leave Germany, and he went to the and the Nazis united with Austria, right? Good or bad? And Sophie and Hans decided that they were going to stand up against Hitler, and they wrote pamphlets to tell about how bad he was. And what happened? Who did? The Nazis. Thanks, guys.